New target
Welcome to the channel,
acquired.
Gaming Army. This video finds us in our Crab 27B. Actually, it is the 27BS, if you want to get
New
technical
target
about it.
acquired.
Just so that I can say BS, I want to get technical about it. We are doing a couple of drops today in this Crab as an evaluation, and I'm calling this one the Lost
New
Episode.
target
And I
acquired.
also redid the intro for this one. And this is called the Lost Episode because it was lost in the video release
Artillery
schedule.
strike online.
So I'm redoing this one for all of you with OCD wondering about the episode numbers
Target destroyed.
and wondering
New
where this
target
one
acquired.
disappeared to. So our two drops today are in the Crab, as I mentioned, and I'm checking this one out with 3 large pulse laser build. I have some concerns on this, and I want to see how it does on the battlefield. The first concern I have is what kind of damage can I expect to put out on this mech, and I'm also kind of concerned about heat buildup on the various maps. Now, I did test this in the testing
New
grounds,
target
but
acquired.
in the testing grounds versus being live on the battlefield, those are two different things, as you can find out. So I am playing this first drop a little more conservative.
strike
Again, like I
online.
said, I'm trying to get a feel for this mech and evaluate it as to how I think it's going to perform.
Target destroyed.
So our first drop here finds us playing Assault Mode on Viridian Bog. We've been trading some shots with the enemy from Delta 5 high ground. We've dropped down to mirror them as they move into Echo 6. So I'm actually in a really good position here.
Target acquired.
Just moving back and forth, I've been
Artillery
able to
strike online.
spot and engage
target
quite a few
acquired.
targets. And now I'm swinging out to the left. I see a couple more targets out here on the left side. I have one of my friendly units backing off, and that's okay, because
Target
I like this little
destroyed.
hidey hole here. It might
New
be just
target acquired.
a perfect area for me to peek in and out of. Unfortunately, the one unit I was going to engage has already been taken out, and now we've come across
New
an
target
Annihilator with quad heavy PPCs. So
Heavy
he's
PPCs
definitely a
underrun.
very dangerous target at range. I called out for my teammates to underrun him if possible. That will negate those heavy PPCs and make him pretty harmless. So we're going to push that direction, and now we've come across the Hellfire.
New target
I'm going to swing out to the
acquired.
left here, lay down some fire on him as well. He is hurt. His left leg is open, both legs are open, and down he
Artillery
goes.
strike.
We're going to keep pushing this angle because there's more targets back in here. Make sure that everything is cleaned out. And now we've got a target ahead of us to the left,
Target
and a Black
acquired.
Knight
New target
exposed in
acquired.
the open up on the high ground. So I'm going to get a little chip shot or two in on him, and he's being focused by teammates as well. So he's probably very frustrated at this point because it looks like he's taking fire from multiple angles, and we'll help ourselves to his left torso. I'm sure he didn't need that. And he's down to 2 weapon systems. His mech is shredded, and I think my teammates can easily finish him off. I want to
New
get in here and
target
put some pressure
acquired.
on this Annihilator, and it looks like my teammates are
Target
already
destroyed.
taking advantage of the
New
range
target
closure
acquired.
to do some damage on him. And here's the little Kit Fox that I saw earlier in the match.
New
And it's
target
Blackjack
acquired.
Jonesy, so we're going to focus him down. We can't let this Kit Fox get away. And he is really hurt. He's open every component imaginable. And we're just going to rush right in here and take out his CT. I get some
Target
missile
destroyed.
fire. I think it's friendly fire coming from behind, and that's okay. It's because I face tanked the Kit Fox.
Target acquired.
So that's an important lesson there, kids. If you're going to face tank the enemy, be prepared to receive some friendly fire because they may not be able to tell that you're right up against them. The team manages to take out the
Target destroyed.
last enemy mech, and we close this one out with 2 kills, 430 damage done, 5 components destroyed. Moving on to our next drop. This one finds us on
Contact
Polar
Alpha, Indian
Highland.
99 ground.
Again, we're playing Assault Mode. And a lesson learned from the last drop is I think I was a little too far standoffish with the weapons.
Target acquired.
At the time, I've been also playing a lot of clan large pulse lasers, This was before the buff, so they definitely had a huge range advantage over the inner spheres. So hopefully I've corrected that for this drop, and I do want to pay attention to the ranges to my enemies a little more closely. I think if I had gotten into a little better weapons range on that last match, the damage score would have been much higher. So let's see if we can do a little better on this drop. Right now, we're kind of peeking and poking, just kind of getting an idea of the lay of the land, where the enemy is at, where they're moving to, and then we can reposition accordingly. I have to say, so far I'm very impressed with this build loadout and how it's performing on the battlefield. I know I had my concerns about heat and heat buildup. It seems to be handling that quite well. I wasn't worried about the chassis. Crabs are known for being tanky and absorbing battlefield damage while keeping their pilots safe, so that wasn't necessarily a concern. And one of the other things that I really appreciate on this build is its speed and maneuverability. We have a top speed of 90 kph, which means I can really zip around the battlefield and get into position on the enemy. Right now, I'm trying to get in position on this Jenner. I don't want him to get away, but he's weaving in and out of the buildings just enough to block my shots.
Artillery strike
and
online.
It's a little frustrating. I see he's rejoined a couple of units up here on the high ground at Hotel 8. I'm going to circle around to try and cut him off. And I also have some friends at Hotel 7. Now they're backing off a little bit, and that's okay. Kit Fox and Blackjack, they're fairly squishy, but I'm a little tankier, so I'm going to be the brave one. I'll lead the charge and push in. I really want to take that Jenner out. There's a linebacker and something else off here to the right. And I'm taking fire. There's the Jenner. He managed to juke me just enough to get some shots in. We'll return fire on him. He's got a friend to the left, and he has me locked up for missile support, which is not good. So let me get some cover here and keep an eye on these two behind me. But now my teammates, looks like they're getting brave enough to push back in as well. Get a couple shots on this Jenner. And there's a larger target, linebacker. He's hiding down there in Echo, but he's pulled back to cover. I was waiting for him to peek again so that I could land base down. He's not going to peek out, so I'm going to put an arty strike right behind him. And you can see the reticle flash red. For those of you that don't know, if you want to tell if your airstrike or arty strike was effective, watch the reticle in the center of your screen. Every time it flashes red when you put out an airstrike or arty strike, means the salvo has hit the enemy. Try to get a back shot on the linebacker as he pulls back out of that position, but I get blocked by whatever that is on top of the building there, unfortunately, because it would have been a nice back shot. So he's not coming back around, but I have found one of his teammates down below, the Blood Asp. He thought he was going to peek in here and take out some of my teammates that are down below using his ECM, but I spotted him, was able to get a couple shots off, but I do want to pull back out. That's not a mech that I want to necessarily face head on, especially in my condition. I have taken some damage at this point, so I am going to live to fight another day, as it were, and go look for some other targets of opportunity. And I managed to find this Vindicator. Now I do have to watch out for the Vindicator. I am damaged. He is not as damaged, and in case you hadn't noticed, Vindicators are incredibly tanky mechs as well. So I'm going to call for some help, and there's our friend the linebacker from before. We've managed to open up his left torso, and now we've managed to take that left torso, so that should hurt him a little bit, especially with his firepower and heat management. The Vindicator is pushing in, and I definitely need some help on him. He's open CT now, which helps me out, and he's trying to fall back because he doesn't want to take all of this damage. We do manage to take his leg, and there goes a high-flying assassin jump jetting over the top of our lines. He's going off to the right there. I want to make sure my guys in the backfield know about him. And the two friends that are pushing in from I-8.
Marauder and
There's
friend
a
are pushing
Marauder,
I-8.
and he's got backup. I do not like the triple racks he's running on that right torso. I'm open on the right leg, right arm, left arm, and my center torso. So from here on out, I've got to be very, very cautious on how I approach the enemy mechs
Target
and
acquired.
how I'm engaging them. I cannot afford to take a whole lot of return fire in the current state of my mech. However, Juliet is coming back in again, and he is hurt. I hate racks. I hate that right torso. Let's see if we can do something about that.
Target
And
destroyed.
there we go. We take the, I don't know if that was CT or right torso. Either way,
New
we managed to
target
get the kill,
acquired.
take the Marauder off the board. I'm now going to swing around to the right side. I want to work from a flank because I don't want to
Target
go
destroyed.
head-to-head with pretty much anything at this point. I can't take a whole lot more damage on my mech before I start losing vital components.
Target
But there's
acquired.
Golf. He's got his back to us.
Target
And
destroyed.
we'll take his mech
New
if
target
he's going to give us
acquired.
his back. And there's the Blood Ass from before. He's open right torso. He's also coming for me. I'll be the distraction. I'll let some of my teammates get some shots in on him. And around the corner he comes. Got my light friend there helping out. So we'll lay down some fire, take that torso,
Target destroyed.
and my teammate gets the kill on the Blood Ass.
New
Good for
target
him.
acquired.
We'll keep hunting these down. It's 9-4, so we definitely have the power curve bent in
target
our
acquired.
favor. And we'll see what we can do with this Night Star. He's fairly fresh, so I don't want him to open fire on me, per se. I wouldn't survive long, but he's being engaged from multiple angles,
Target
and down he
destroyed.
goes. Swinging around quickly to the other side, there's our friend, the
Target
assassin from
acquired.
before. He's open in his legs,
Target destroyed.
and down he goes as well. And last unit, there's the Jenner. I think
Target
it's the same
acquired.
Jenner
Himself
from
a
the
Jenner.
very beginning of the match, and he's making a run for it. He's actually heading towards our base with a bunch of us in hot pursuit. Now, I'm fast, but I'm not fast enough to catch up to him. However, our light is fast enough
Base
to
is
run
being
him down.
captured.
Hopefully I can crest one of these hills, get an angle on him, and lend some fire support. But that isn't necessary. Our light
Target
takes him out. We
destroyed.
finish the match. 2 kills, 564 damage done, 9 components destroyed.